What is up, guys? Oscar here with a new video. So I realized when I started talking about the Washington football team, I did not give my record prediction for the team. But now that the season is about to start in a little over a month, I guess it's only fair. I know that, YouTubers and analysts try to give their schedule predictions when the schedule comes out. But to be fair to me, I just started this channel not too long ago, so I will go ahead and give my predictions now. Before I do, though, I would like to remind you guys to like this video, subscribe, and share any content regarding Real Madrid or the Washington football team. As of right now is what I'm posting things about as of right now. But back to the original video, back to the stated video, I will be giving my Washington football team predictions on how the season will go for 2020-2021. So without further ado, week 1, September 13th, we will be facing Philadelphia Eagles here at home. So with NFC East opponents, I have a splitting. And since we will be facing Philadelphia at home, and Washington was this close to beating the Eagles last time, I believe, at home as well, I will give Washington the win just because Philadelphia does owe them one. So Washington will start the season 1-0. September 20th, it'll be on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. This is a little hard to call just because the Arizona Cardinals are on the rise. Their offense, is huge, especially with with the acquirement of DeAndre Hopkins and players like that. So, I'm going to say Washington wins this, but not by much. So Washington will start 2-0. September 27th, there will be first road game at Cleveland. I have us losing to Cleveland, but here's what I'm going to say about that. Cleveland is on the rise. Their plans were to go, playoffs last year, but, coaching, hiring wasn't all that great. But this year, they finally got a qualified candidate as head coach. Baker Mayfield is a good quarterback. I'm just going to say Cleveland will pull out the upset and beat Washington, so Washington will be down 2-1. And it'll be in Cleveland as well. Week 4, October 4th, Washington will be hosting the Baltimore Ravens. I have Washington going 2-2. Lamar Jackson, that run game, Hollywood Brown. It's going to be too much for Washington to overcome. This is not the same Baltimore Ravens team that, Washington has faced in the recent past, because I know that Washington beat them three times straight, but it's not the same team anymore. So I have Washington finally losing to Baltimore after more than a decade. So 2-2 it is. Week 5, October 11th, hosting Los Angeles Rams. We finally, after winning 2 and losing 2, I have Washington winning against Los Angeles. Los Angeles is not the same threat that it once was. The last time Washington did beat them 27-20, and that was a on the rise Rams team. And they went to the Super Bowl like the year after. But last year was a down year. Everyone's figuring out Sean McVay's style of play. And Los Angeles unloaded a lot of players. So they will be, again, in my opinion, on the decline. So Washington will be going 3-2 by defeating the Los Angeles Rams at home. October 18th at the New York Giants. Okay. Like I said before, I do have us splitting it in the NFC East. And I have Washington winning in New York just because in the recent past, other than last year, Washington and New York have split, but Washington has been able to beat New York in New York, and New York has been able to beat Washington in FedEx. So I will give Washington the win here just because it is in New York. So that'll put us at 4-2. October 25th, we will be playing against Dallas at home, again splitting with Dallas, and this is a home game. Even though Dak has beaten Washington 5 out of the 6 years, 5 out of the 6 times, I think it was, or 7 out of the 8 times. My apologies, that he has been in Dallas, but Washington will, finally win at home like they did 2 years ago with Adrian Peterson at the time, running all over Dallas. So I give Washington the win here at home against Dallas. So that'll put us at 5-2. Week 8 is bye, no game. Week 9, November 8th, we will be at home hosting the New York Giants this time. And as I stated before, Washington beats New York in New York. New York beats Washington and Washington at FedEx Field. So enough said there. Washington will lose and go 5-3. Week 10, November 15th, they'll be at Detroit. Washington finally beat Detroit last year, but before then, Detroit wins or won 4 or 5 straight. So I give Detroit the win here, but not by much. I say by field goal, touchdown at the most. So Washington will drop to 5-4. November 22nd, at home against Cincinnati Bengals. This is going to be an awesome game. Joe Burrow versus Dwayne Haskins. Now we're going to see which Ohio State quarterback is the best, along with Chase Young versus Joe Burrow as well. First overall pick and the second overall pick going at it. But I do have Washington beating Cincy just because they are also looking to rebuild, and this is a rebuilding year for them as well. I do have Washington winning this at home against Bengals again, so that'll put us at 6-4. November 26th at Dallas. Now this is the only national game we have, a national televised game. Fortunately for Washington, just because again they have not done so well at all. They haven't done that well. My apologies. In national televised games. This is the only one that they have against Dallas on Thanksgiving. Everyone will be watching, but as I said before, we will be splitting against our NFC East foes. So Washington will lose to Dallas on Thanksgiving Day in Dallas. That'll put us at 6-5. December 6th at Pittsburgh. Washington has not beaten Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has a 5-game win streak, and my feeling is Ben Roethlisberger, that scary defense. I don't see Washington winning, so give them another L here. So that'll put us down now at 6-6. December 13th. Wait, did I say that right? Yes, December 13th at San Fran. Another loss. Even though their quarterback is okay and their defense and their run game took them to the Super Bowl, that's what they have. A decent run game and defense. And even though, our offense, our running game and defense should be up in par, it's going to be that what quarterback is better, and in my opinion, Jimmy Garoppolo, and that receiving core is a little bit better than Washington's. So San Fran will beat Washington in Levi Stadium in 49ers own home. So Washington will lose yet again. So that'll put us at 6-7. December 20th, at home against Seattle, another loss. I do think 6-8 will, that'll, take us out of the playoffs mathematically, even though, with the new setting, but I don't think, losing, what is it now, 3 straight, that won't be enough. So Seattle, what Russell Wilson, running game, and especially now that their defense, now that they added Jamal Adams to the roster, that's going to be something even scarier. So Washington will lose at home against Seattle, put us down at 6-8. December 27th, at home against Carolina Panthers. I have us winning, or I have Washington winning. Ron Rivera's, return game against his former team that he coached. Nothing is impressive about Carolina except for their quarterback play and their Christian McCaffrey. That's all they got. DJ Moore. The defense can take care of Christian McCaffrey, leaving Teddy Bridgewater to be one-dimensional. So the defense will take care of it. Washington will win. Have them at 7-8 there. 7-8 after week 15. Week 17, January 3rd, at Philadelphia, and as I stated before, splitting against NFC East, and this is the team that this is the time where they will split with Philadelphia. They will lose in Philadelphia because even though people think that Philadelphia will have nothing to play for, in my opinion, they will have something to play for because, the NFC East is very, very wild. It always comes down to week 16 or 17 to clinch that division. So Philadelphia will have something to play for in week 17. Washington will lose this one, meaning they will drop to 7-9. And that is all, folks. That is my record prediction. Washington will go 7-9. So that's going to be 3 wins in the NFC East. I have us winning against Cincinnati, winning against the Carolina Panthers. So that's 5. Beating Arizona, that's 6. And who else? Philadelphia, Arizona. Oh, and the Los Angeles Rams. So those are the teams that I have us beating, guys. If you guys didn't catch that, I did say splitting against NFC, so that's 3 wins. Rams and Cardinals, NFC West, will be facing the NFC West this year. That'll be 5. And then the Carolina Panthers and the Cincinnati Bengals will be facing the AFC North. But in the AFC North foes, I only have Washington beating the Cincinnati Bengals, so that'll put us at 7 wins. All right, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, share this video, and I will see you guys next time, guys. Bye.